Push a P. Yeah, push a P. Turn me up. Turn me up, P. Corners in the paddock, get my piece. Push a P. Cop no hammers for my beat. We don't want no.
Hello, wonderful people of YouTube. This is Cree. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. As always, Mama truly appreciates you. So, Lord. Wendy. Baby. That was a lot to unpack. I don't, where do you begin? Where do I begin on all of that? I actually finished watching all 4 episodes a couple of days ago, but I kind of just wanted to sit back and just kind of see how everything played out once the episodes aired and everybody else had their opinions on it, and just to see what was going to be happening behind the scenes with the crew and all of that. I'm not going to touch too much on it because, I mean, pretty much at this point, everybody in the world has this week already. But I'm just going to put my 2 little cents in it. So, if you don't know, or if you haven't seen it, it's basically about... It chronicled everything that happened after season 12 wrap in May of 2021. Because pretty much after that, we never seen her again. And then that's when all of the news start coming out about where she at. She been missing in action. And, is she coming back to her show? Is she not coming back to her show? And then it was touch and go. And then they finally did the 13th season, but she wasn't on it at all. They was just filled with a bunch of guest hosts. Then they finally decided to wrap up season 13. She had no actual part in the finale. I mean, it was just... These last 3.5 years has been a definite roller coaster. I know for her and all of us just sitting and looking and wondering like, well, what the hell going on, what's happening and everything like that. And so this documentary just kind of answered those questions. Now, I will say this, and I'll, say another few other things about it. Now, everybody is saying that, this should not have been done. That shouldn't have shown Wendy like this. And yeah, I agree. It did not show her in the best light at all. It showed her at her absolute worst. I think probably the worst that anybody has ever seen from her. But at the same time, I do believe that the documentary was necessary because it could potentially save her life for real. It exposed all of the leeches and the hanger-ons that were really there just for her for monetary gain and nothing more. Back in 2021, the media and everybody pretty much just made it seem like, oh, well, she's just really dealing really bad with the Graves' disease and the lymphedema. Is that what you call it? With the swelling of the feet? Was it lymphedema? But it pretty much had us thinking that, oh, well, that's what's going on with her and she's not really doing good, and not really giving, an indication about how bad the alcoholism was. Well, that didn't really start coming out until like maybe last year in 2023. And so, like I said, the documentary, it tied quite a bit of loose ends. It exposing people for what they were and what they are. They made us believe back then that, that the family really wasn't there for her best interest, and they were just really only there for the money, which is why they took the guardianship away from the family and gave her to an actual guardian and had Wells Fargo lock up her money. So like I said, the documentary, it answered questions. So that's why I said it was necessary, because we were just told so many things before. Because clearly she was doing okay. She seemed to have been doing good when she was with her family. But the minute she had to go back to New York and they locked her money up and they assigned her a guardian, then she just went straight to shit. I understand why they did what they did with her money, like as far as Wells Fargo goes, freezing her accounts, because I'm like, dude, you spending $100,000 on Uber Eats and spending $100,000 or more on lavish parties, a lavish birthday party for little Kevin, And what was $80,000 for his rent? I don't know if that was $80,000 total, $80,000 a month, $80,000 a year. I mean, hell, if it was $80,000 a month, then yeah, I can definitely see why that money had to be locked up, because at that point in time, Wendy ain't got no job. Wendy ain't had no job. You ain't got no job, man. But you want to sit up here and spend all this money, spending money that you don't have. You didn't have a show, so it's like, how are you getting any more money coming in? So I see why that happened. But I do not agree with the fact that they took her from her family, even though a lot of the decision for her to stay in New York and to be away from her family was her decision by herself. And that was mainly because she knew that her family was not going to let her drink alcohol. So it just seems like that all New York was doing was enabling her. You did more harm to her than you did good. And it was slowly killing her in the process. And it didn't seem like anybody cared. All they wanted was to just keep that money flow going in. But how you going to keep the money flow going in? I mean, it was just a lot. If she's steady drinking and getting worse, she ain't gonna get no work. So if she ain't gonna get no work, she ain't gonna get no money, y'all ain't gonna get paid. And I think that was the reason why the manager, Will, was in it as much as he was, because he was more so really interested in getting her back working. At least that's what I got from it in the beginning. But then as time went on, it seemed like that Will actually started to see what the family was talking about and starting to see for himself the downward spiral that she was going through. And so then that's when he actually tried to step in and help and try to honor the family's wishes and not giving her alcohol. Because I do remember in one of the scenes when they were in the restaurant, and I think it was her and I forgot who it was. Was it that publicist Sean? It was one of them that was there. And then so then he excused himself to go to the restroom, but then went and talked to, the waiters and was trying to get them to give her, virgin martinis or any kind of drink without putting alcohol in there. So it's like, I see that he was trying to make the effort, but by that point, I mean, she was so far gone, and it really wasn't a whole lot that you were going to be able to do by yourself. I think when he first became her manager, he probably thought that it was something that he can handle, and then as time went on, he realized that, he probably bit off a little bit more that he could chew, and it wasn't going to be as easy as he thought it was. I don't think any of them really realized how much of an addict that Wendy really is. I mean, she's an addict. She's an alcoholic. And she's going to do whatever she can to get her hands on some alcohol. So if that means that she has to be away from her family in order to do that, then so be it. That's what she's going to do. But everybody else's job is to make sure that she goes in the right direction. I mean, it's her decision too. But like I said, when you an addict, that's not where your mind is. That's not where it is. And they should have kept her there in Miami with her family, where she was getting help and where she was getting better. She needed a whole lot of rehab and a whole lot of therapy. Like I said, it seemed like that guy Will was trying to be helpful. It wasn't really enough, but he was at least trying. But that chick Sean, I ain't trust her at all. I ain't like her. Sitting up here in straight denial. Oh, I don't know. I don't think she has an alcohol problem. I think she can control herself. She's grown and she knows her limits. But then when they asked her if she had talked to or speak to any medical personnel that has treated her, checked her, no, she ain't spoke to nobody, but for sure. And now I'm realizing she the publicist, so she's the one that over these past couple of years been going to the media and spinning it and making it seem like that she was better than what she actually was. And that's why we was getting all these conflicting information on what's going on with her. Is she doing good or is she not doing good? You got the family saying that she ain't doing good, and then you got the publicist saying, oh, well, she's all right. She just need to rest. She just need to do this and that. Come on now. Come on. Quit enabling an addict. You're not helping at all. And furthermore, shame on y'all for going around talking about this is her karma. This is her karma for how she treated people, for how she did people. This ain't no karma. This is not karma that you put that somebody deserves because they done talked about somebody. Come on now, really? Y'all talk about people every day. Y'all expose people every day. Y'all be on the shade room and everything else every day. Do y'all deserve karma? I'm almost willing to bet somebody done talked about somebody at work today or exposed somebody already today. Do you deserve that? You deserve what she got? I don't think so. So don't put that on her. Y'all gotta think of everything that lady has been through in a very short amount of time. From at least 2017 on up to now. You know, like I said, I knew something was wrong. We knew something was wrong back, what was that, 2017, when she was on that one episode where she had on the Statue of Liberty costume and she passed out on live TV. We knew then something was wrong. We didn't know what was wrong, but we knew something was wrong. It definitely wasn't her being overheated in her costume. I thought that was some crap that they tried to pull on everybody. Like, you know that wasn't true. And it was more than the Graves' disease. We didn't know it was alcoholism back then, or at least most of us didn't, but it definitely wasn't the narrative that they was trying to spin at that time. And it just seemed like from that point on, it just slowly but surely started going downhill, and to the point to where, shoot, it seemed like just within like a shorter period of time, it just went from bad to worse. If this is anybody's karma, this is Kevin's karma. Kevin Hunter, the ex-husband, this is his karma, because all of this is because of him. The downward spiral and everything that has happened is because of him, because he can't keep it in his pants. I know a lot of that drinking of hers started because of him and his infidelities. Yeah, she found out about it in the beginning and, tried to turn a blind eye to it and was like, well, as long as he don't have a baby on me, then it's okay. But I know still deep down that hurt, and the only way to numb that pain and to act like it didn't bother her was to keep drinking. And I know that's pretty much when that drinking probably started, well, when it escalated, and especially once it started coming out to the world that he was having all these affairs and stuff behind her back and had this side chick. And then the baby came in the midst of all that, and the drinking got worse. And then next thing you know, we seeing her on TV talking about what she's been in a sober house for the past few weeks or the past few months or whatever. But then he turned around and got the side chick pregnant. The one thing that he was told not to do, he done turned around and did it. And so now she got to stick to her guns. She got to leave him. I don't think she even, I still don't even think that she wanted to leave him. I think she loved him that much, but that's a hurtful thing. That is a hurtful thing. To have the man that you love and that you trusted, the man whose hands you put your life in, turns around and betrays you like this, then yeah, you gotta leave. And then, of course, once that happened, then, like I said, she tried to move on with her life and things like that. And I think that with enough therapy and treatment, she could have bounced back from it then. But then what happened? Then her mom passes away. And I think that's what broke her. Losing her mom broke her. The divorce broke her down some, but she could have bounced back from that, but losing her mother broke her. Anybody that has lost a parent can definitely relate to that. I myself, I am, at the time of this recording, I am blessed and fortunate to have all of my parents still living, both of my parents and my stepdad. They're all still here, but they have all, at some point or another, have dealt with some major health challenges. Some major health challenges to the point to where we didn't know what the outcome of it was going to be. And I can't speak for anybody else in my family, but for me, that was terrifying. That's terrifying. Just the mere thought of anything happening to any of my parents, that was a very devastating thought for me. So for something like that to actually happen with someone, with them losing a parent, I can't even imagine. I'm shaking just thinking about it now. So something like that, I know, that was like more than likely the nail on the coffin for Wendy as far as like the mental issues go. Oh, you're losing your marriage, you're losing your man, you lose your mom, you lose your mind, then eventually you lose your show. I mean, that what you expect? And she going through that and ain't nobody trying to help her and get her no kind of therapy. Y'all just trying to get more money up out of her. That's why I say this documentary was necessary, because if that documentary had not come out, if it hadn't come out when it did, the Guardians would still be getting money from her, still draining her bank accounts. The family would still be in the dark about what's going on with her, and everybody would just be in denial. Now, after this came out, Will ain't in the picture no more. That messy chick Sean ain't in the picture no more. And from what I'm seeing now the Guardian ain't in the picture no more. And it's possible that her family at some point can possibly gain control and get her the help that she finally needs to get. So yeah, the documentary was necessary. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be where we are right now, and she'd be in probably a much worse state than she is. And then also too, if it wasn't for Wendy, half of these gossip sites and these gossip blogs that y'all follow and listen to wouldn't be existing. It wouldn't be no Hollywood Unlocked. It wouldn't be no Shade Room. It wouldn't even be no Tasha K if it wasn't for Wendy Williams planting the seed that she did and putting in all the work that she done put in for these last 30 plus years. She was the one going through the trenches and asking the questions that everybody wanted to know, that everybody was scared to know. Half of us wouldn't have even known who Wendy Williams was if it wasn't for that Whitney Houston interview. So don't sit up here and bash her and talk bad about her when y'all are the same people that's following the very people that pretty much followed in her footsteps. Now, I've never been a big Wendy Williams fan. You know, I didn't really watch the show like that when it was coming on. You know, I may have watched it flipping through channels or in passing or things like that, but I didn't quite agree with, you know, her antics and how she did things. But I mean, I respect her hustle. That's how she made her living. That's how she made her bread and butter. And a lot of y'all done had no problem with it. So I'm like I said, don't put that kind of karma, that juju on her now, like she deserves it. No, she don't. No one deserves that. I just pray that since this came out, since everything came out, that hopefully she can get the help that she needs and she can be back to maybe she ain't gonna be back 100%. If she got dementia and aphasia, we probably looking at not such a good outcome in all this. But you know, hopefully she's not gonna be in the jacked up state that she has been over these past few years, and I'm hopefully that she's getting better. If these so happen to be her, you know, her last years or whatever, hopefully it's not. But if the Lord say so, then, you know, hopefully it'll be peaceful and it'll be comfortable and she will be surrounded by love and her family where she needs to be. But that is all I have to say on the matter. Thank you so much for listening. If you have made it this far, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see y'all next time. My name is Cree Cree. Y'all be easy.